I really hope you guys appreciate my reviews. Seriously, after having to watch shit like this, I really hope you appreciate it. Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be a movie review, and this movie is coming out tonight at 8 o'clock, but I decided to watch it early, like I did with Teen Beach 2. There were tons of people that were telling me after I did Teen Beach 2, you gotta do Disney's Descendants, you gotta review Disney's Descendants, and I actually was looking forward to it, kind of, but I'm like, alright, I'll give it a watch, because I didn't really know too much about Teen Beach 2, and I ended up loving it. I'm like, you know what, maybe this might be really good. You know, maybe Disney Channel might have some really good movies. I mean, they've been doing some good stuff lately. Honestly, Disney Channel movies haven't been that bad lately. Teen Beach 2 was amazing. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It goes in a direction I don't think you're gonna think it goes in. But then, of course, the first trailer was released, and I have to admit, it was horrible. I hated the first trailer. I'm like, this is not at all what I want, but I tried to go in with no mind. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be its own thing, and there are things about it that could be good, and, I really didn't know what to expect from this movie. And how was Descendants? Descendants might just be the worst Disney Channel movie I have ever seen. I'm not kidding you guys. This might be the worst Disney thing I think Disney Channel has ever done. The idea of this is really cool, but there are so many things with this that are so bad. And if you guys like this movie, fine. But I am going to completely trash on this. There are, like, 2 good things about this movie, and that's really it. And I'm going to get into it. But let's get to the plot of Descendants, which is pretty cool, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense. Basically, I'm going to say this takes place in an alternate reality, because if you don't think it does, then it doesn't make sense. Basically, after King Beast, yeah, that's literally his name, King Beast, they couldn't do, that's how original they are, King Beast. After Beast and Belle got married, they basically united the Disney kingdoms into the United States of Auradon, and they're elected as the leaders of the new idyllic kingdom, while all the villain sidekicks and accomplices are forced after their defeat to live in prison on the Isle of the Lost, which is Forbidden Island. It's surrounded by a barrier that also inhabits magic. They can't use any magic or anything. And basically, in present day, their son Ben, who is going to become a king, he's now the prince right now, he basically, before he inherits the throne, he basically wants a chance to let the 4 kids of those villains be able to come to his school and basically choose a side, because they haven't chosen yet, and basically they were crewed to do that. But when they do that, they're basically put under pressure by their parents to help all the villains regain powers by stealing the fairy godmother's magic wand for basically what ended up happening to them and get revenge. That's essentially what they want them to do. And basically they have to choose whether they're good or they're evil, and that's basically a plot. Now, the plot sounds a lot better than it is, because that's not the only plot of the movie. There are like 500 other plots in this movie that I'm going to get into, and there's so many things about this movie that just don't work at all, and they really, really suck, I have to say, honestly. I'm going to talk about the positive things about this movie, because there aren't many, okay? There are 2 positive things about this movie, and then that's it. Seriously, 2 positive things. The thing I was looking forward to most in this movie is Kristin Chenoweth. I mean, she's a Broadway star, she has real Broadway talent, and she's never really given me a bad performance, well, except in The Boy Next Door, but that was just because that movie as a whole was horrible. She wasn't horrible, it was just her character that was horrible. She kills it in this movie as Maleficent. She is awesome. We've never really seen Kristin Chenoweth play a villain, so it was really cool to see that. She did an awesome job as Maleficent. You really feel that she is Maleficent, and she's really powerful and such, and I really loved her character. She has this great song called Evil Like Me, and she really is fantastic. I really thought she did a fantastic job, I have to say, definitely. Kristin Chenoweth was by far my favorite thing about this movie. I thought she definitely was very good. And the only other person I'm going to talk about that was good, because the rest of people weren't, is Sofia Carson as Evie, who I feel was the only good actress out of the 4 actors and actresses that were the main characters. She was really the only good one. She has this likable charm to her, and you really saw her as Evie, who is the, she's just looking for a prince. That's what she's interested in. She wants to find a prince, and she doesn't necessarily want to be evil, but you really see that she will do some evil work if she has to. She's very powerful, manipulative, and I think Sofia Carson did a really great job of that. I was laughing a lot at her lines, and she definitely was very good. other than these two, who are very good, the rest of the cast is fucking horrible. Okay, the rest of the cast in this movie is horrible. There is not one person in the rest of this cast that is anything close to good. Seriously, let's talk about Dove Cameron. Really, Disney? Dove Cameron? Dove Cameron? That's the best you can do? Okay, I get that this is a Disney Channel movie. I get that, and I get that they want to put stars from the Disney Channel in it so that way people who watch Disney Channel will watch this. I get that. But Dove Cameron, I'm sorry, she has no talent. She can't act, she can't sing, she can't dance, she can't do anything. She's just a Disney star. If you know what a Disney star is, they're one of those people that Disney thinks that have good looks, are basically beautiful, and basically they just employ them and use auto-tune. Everything about her character is just, her character, the idea of her is really cool. I like the idea of Mal. You know, she's the Dar Maleficent, and she's this, you know, basically constantly manipulated by her mother to join the evil side. She's not really sure what she wants to do. She really is a great leader, but Dove Cameron just portrays this horribly. There's no emotion in her. It all seems forced. It's very, very cheesy, and you could have picked a million other people to play to play Mal, and they would have been so much better than Dove Cameron was. Dove Cameron just killed it in this movie. She was horrible. I hated her. Really, I hated her in this movie. However, nothing compares to the god-awful performance that is by far one of the worst performances I have seen in a Disney Channel movie ever, and of the year, from Mitchell Hope as Prince Ben. Wow, was this awkward. Okay, so he's supposed to be the son of Belle and the Beast. Again, the king's name is literally Beast. That's how original this is. Seriously, that's how dumb it is. Mitchell Hope is just, he's there because girls who watch Disney Channel will find him good looking and they'll tune in. That's the only reason he's there. He has no charm, no sense of humor, nothing. He's annoying. He's happy all the time, and I can't stand it. I'm gonna get into that when we get to the heroes, but he's so annoying in the movie, and I couldn't stand his character. And you're supposed to love his character for what he does. The idea, again, is really good. A guy that just wants them to come into the kingdom and basically choose what they want to do. And I thought they did a really good job of that, and I definitely really enjoyed that, I have to say. Definitely, that was something I thought was really good. And I think that the character's really good, but the acting from him was just horrible. He doesn't even sing in the movie. It's like the first High School Musical with Zac Efron. Jeff Lewis has to sing, and it doesn't work at all. He's not good, and that's something that really sucked in the movie. He was also horrible. By the way, guys, I have to say that, as we know, most of these villains obviously died, so this is kind of like an alternate reality, as I said. It's kind of like its own thing, which I'm fine with if the movie wasn't terrible. Cameron Boyce and Booboo Stewart, holy shit, they were so annoying. Seriously, they're played off as the fun roles in the movie, and they're not funny at all. Carlos is such an annoying character. Cameron Boyce, I've never liked Cameron Boyce. I didn't like him in Jessie. I didn't like him in, I don't know what else he's been in, but in Jessie he was horrible. He wasn't funny in Grown Ups. I've never liked Cameron Boyce. I've never found him to be a funny actor. He's always annoyed me, and he still annoys me. He's so annoying in this movie. Carlos basically is the son of Cruella de Vil, but what doesn't make sense is he's terrified of dogs. Anytime a dog comes up to him, he flinches, he's freaking out. There's a scene where he's chased by a dog. It is as ridiculous as you can imagine, and that's literally all they do with his character. Well, that, and he joins the lacrosse team. That's it. There's nothing else they do with him, and it's ridiculous. Cameron Boyce was god-awful in this movie, and he really sucked, I have to say. Booboo Stewart as well, nothing to do. These two have nothing to do. And my biggest complaint about this movie, though, has to be the other three villains. As I said, Kristen Chenoweth is amazing in this movie. She really kills it. She gives a fantastic performance. Unfortunately, because that the other three villains have nothing to do, and they're horrible. Honestly, the thing about this is that the costumes, they do look sort of like the villains. They do. But what they don't understand is just because they are playing that villain doesn't mean that they're good. I mean, they don't have the charm, they don't have the wit, and Kristen Chenoweth just outshines all of them, and all the other ones are just so forgettable. They have no moments. There's nothing about them. And it's just like we introduced these 3 other villains just so we could have the 3 other kids. And it was really pointless, I have to say. There was nothing about her. There was a cute little bit, something I enjoyed, where Maleficent and the Evil Queen were going back and forth between whose daughter was worse, and I thought that was kind of funny. But that wasn't even in the movie for that long. It's a quick little segment. I wish they would have done more with them, because I feel like they could have done some really fun stuff, and they really didn't do anything with them. And that really sucks, because that's what we want to see in the movie. We want to see the villains that we love. We want to see the heroes that we love. We want to see these things, and we don't really see enough of them, I have to say. The heroes, oh my god, so annoying, every single one of them. Sarah Jeffery, who obviously loves dating people named Ben, because she was in Wayward Pines, and now she's in this. Awful. Everyone on the good side is awful, and let me tell you why. They're all so happy, and it's so annoying. They have no personality other than, oh, we're so happy, everything's great. And it's like, I get that they're the heroes, but could you at least make them a little bit layered? Teen Beach 2 at least did a good job with making layered characters, and this doesn't do anything with making them layered. They're happy all the time, nothing goes wrong for them, they're terrified of the villains, they're constantly putting them down. It's so annoying, especially Sarah Jeffery's character. Good God, I could not stand her in this movie. She was so annoying, and everyone else was just as annoying, I have to say. Everyone was terrible, and that's really it for the acting. Pretty much everyone just sucks, really. Everyone sucks for the most part. The directing. This is Kenny Ortega directing. What the hell happened, Kenny Ortega? I mean, Kenny Ortega made some really great Disney movies. High School Musical, Camp Rock. I personally love these movies. I don't know he did Camp Rock, but I know he did High School Musical. And I know people don't really like those movies, but I find them a lot of fun, and this sucked. The tone is so all over the place. It's so many things, and it just doesn't work at all. The directing is horrible. I don't feel it's all Kenny Ortega's fault. I feel it's Disney's fault, because Disney Channel wanted to make something that kids would watch, and it didn't work. And I have to say, the screenplay in this movie is just so all over the place. Something I can't stand about this movie. The movie doesn't know when to quit, and what I mean by that is that they had a million things probably on a script, and of course, there's a thing called deleted scenes, where you can, delete a scene and put it in. Well, this movie should have done that, because there's like 500 plots in this movie. There are plots that they start, and then they end, and then they start again. It seemed like they were introducing plots every 5 minutes. The first 40 minutes, there's like a new character introduced every 5 minutes. It's as annoying as you can imagine. I mean, first we're introduced to Audrey, the daughter of Princess Aurora and Prince Philip, who has nothing to do in the movie except annoy the shit out of me, and Ben, and also this, what the hell's his name? I don't even remember his name. Chad, he's the, son of Cinderella and Prince Charming. Again, has nothing to do. We're introduced to them. Then we're introduced to the fairy godmother's daughter. Then we're introduced to Milan's daughter. Why are we meeting Milan's daughter? That's not even a fairy tale. It's like they had so many ideas on paper, but they just didn't know how to fit them all into the movie, and it doesn't work. There's so many subplots in this movie that I could give 2 less shits about. There's a romance subplot between Mal and Ben. There's a subplot with Mal giving girls makeovers and them wanting to look like her. There's a subplot with Jay basically in a lacrosse team being like the leader of it. It's really stupid. There's a subplot where there's like a love potion. I mean, there's so much going on in this movie, and it's way too much. Honestly, I couldn't stand the amount of stuff going on in this movie. I'm like, just try to get to one plot and stick to it. They try to create relationships between the characters. One of the worst things by far are the relationships between the main 4. You do not for a second feel these 4 would be friends. I mean, there is no chemistry between them whatsoever. I didn't see any chemistry, and they didn't even seem that intimidating. They didn't seem like villains, and that really, really sucked, I have to say. The movie's not funny at all. Nothing really made me laugh. There were a couple jokes here and there that I thought were kind of funny. Like when the villains were making fun of the heroes, that was pretty funny, I have to say. I thought that was okay when they did that. But a lot of the jokes are really dumb, they're really stupid, and there were just way too many things going on in this movie that I couldn't even, it was hard to focus on it, honestly, because there's so much going on, and I'm just like, this is too much. There's too much going on here. they're trying to get you invested to every single plot. They try to make you care about every single character, and you just don't. The characters, they're nothing. A lot of the characters in this movie are just there to be there. Something they forgot is that in order to have a good character, you need to have a good character. And what this movie thinks a good character is, oh, we'll just have the son, daughter of this person, the son or daughter of this person. That doesn't make your movie good. That just makes it really crowded, and that's exactly what this is. It's extremely crowded, and it's way too long as well. The editing in this movie is ridiculous. It is 111 minutes long, and it's a Disney Channel movie. It's so long. It got so boring. Nothing happens in this movie at all. Really, nothing of interest happens. Also, the costumes in this movie are horrendous. They had, like, no budget whatsoever, and you can tell. There is a quick action scene. It lasts, I'd say, 50 seconds. That's how bad this movie is. The only action it has, there's like 50 seconds of action, and then it just ends. And it's because you can tell how low of a budget they had. And I really wish that this was an actual theatrical movie, not a Disney Channel movie, because maybe they could have had a bigger budget, and maybe this could have been something that was really good. And maybe it could have really worked out, but because they didn't have a big budget, it ended up being a pile of shit. So it obviously didn't work out very well. Now, the worst thing about this movie, and you guys are going to see me scream at the top of my lungs, I'm going to try to contain myself, but I know I'm not going to be able to, are the songs in this movie. The songs in this movie are just, again, this is a movie, and again, I would not be complaining about this if it wasn't characters that were from classic Disney movies, heroes and villains that we all know and love. I wouldn't be insulting the movie if it wasn't that. If it was just a bunch of characters that were just in a high school and things like that, okay, that could be interesting. Maybe that could be kind of fun, but this is because of what they did with the movie, it's so annoying, and let me just say that the songs in this movie, the reason I love High School Musical, Lemonade Mouth, Camp Rock, Teen Beach Movie, movies like that, is because they have fun, catchy songs that you can listen to, and I listen to those songs on their own. They stand out on their own as great songs, not just great songs in the movie, but great songs. There are songs from High School Musical that I genuinely think are just great songs in general, and I don't just think they're great songs for the movie, they're just great songs in general, and with this, they use dubstep. Dubstep. This is a movie about fairy tale characters, and they're using dubstep. The way we're introduced to the villains is this ridiculous song called Rotten to the Core, which I would play for you, but I don't want to get copyright. Plus, I don't want my ears to bleed. It is the most annoying thing you can think of. I was so pissed off by the songs in this movie. They're all modern except for one, and I really want to talk about this song. There is a song that Kristen Chenoweth sings with Dove Cameron called Evil Like Me. It is by far the best thing about this movie because it is everything the movie could have been. It could have been a villain team-up movie that had the daughter and Maleficent working together. It's a great song. It's when Mal's trying to figure out, you know, is she good or is she bad? And she's having her mother pressure her. And it's a fantastic song. Kristen Chenoweth kills it in this song. I mean, it's complete Broadway. She goes all out. It feels like a classic Disney villain song. It's awesome. Obviously, the villain songs are always the best, and this just proves it. And the song in this is awesome. But the problem is, it's the only good song in the movie that I actually felt was good, honestly. The other songs are pop, dubstep shit that doesn't belong in this movie. It doesn't go with anything. I'm not even gonna get into what they did to Be Our Guest. I mean, why Be Our Guest? Any other song would have been fine. Why did you have to do a rap dubstep version of Be Our Guest? I mean, Be Our Guest is hands down one of the best songs in animated movies ever. I mean, Beauty and the Beast is one of the best animated movies of all time, and Be Our Guest is a fantastic song, and you just had to ruin it. I mean, we all know the classic Be Our Guest, Be Our Guest. Well, of course, guess what they do in this movie? Be Our Guest, yeah! Be Our Guest. That's the other thing I can't stand. They think they're so cool, and they think they're appealing to all these different demographics, and it's just like, do you understand how many people you're offending? Like, I don't think they realize how offensive this is. Like, these songs are offensive. They're not funny. They're not good. They're offensive because they're coming from Disney villains sons and daughters. It's ridiculous. And I look at a thing like Evil Like Me, and that's what I wish this movie could have been. It really sucks that the movie had to turn out the way it did. It could have been a lot better, I have to say, and it really didn't. And the ending of this movie, oh my god, the climax of this movie is one of the most underwhelming climaxes I've seen in such a long time. They had an opportunity. I was really getting into it toward the end. I'm like, okay, maybe this is going to be very interesting. And then they just ruined it. It was so stupid, and I hate it. It didn't make any sense whatsoever, and it was really dumb. The climax is ridiculous, this movie. I hated it. I couldn't stand the climax. I'm like, that's it. I'm done with this movie. I couldn't stand it anymore, and then, of course, they tell you that they're making a sequel, and here's the thing. I really hope that they do a sequel. It's what this movie should have been. What the movie should have been is not these villains going to a high school to perform this thing to, with the fairy godmother to get revenge. What this should have done was a villain team-up movie with the kids and trying to figure out if the kids really side with them. That could have been really interesting, and they really don't focus on what you want them to focus on, which is, are they evil or are they good? They don't really do a good job of focusing on this at all. And Evil Like Me is the perfect definition of what this movie should have been. Listen to that song. That is everything I want this movie to be. And if there's anything to remember, that is it. That's all I'm going to remember from this movie. Not that right into the core shit. Not that. That is horrible song. The first time I heard it was disgraceful, and it's just as disgraceful now. It is a horrible song. I don't know who in their right mind chose that song to be the anthem of this movie, but throughout the whole movie, you just hear, I'm right into the core. It's so annoying, and I hated it. So overall, guys, Disney's Descendants, you can tell, I hated this movie. I really, really hated this movie. Besides a good performance, besides a really fun performance with Kristen Chenoweth, I really hope this comes to Broadway. I really wish this was a Broadway musical, because think of how amazing this could have been if it was. I mean, songs like Evil Like Me feels like a Broadway show, and songs like that, I feel like they should make this into a Broadway musical, but then you have songs like Be Our Guest, yo, like things like that, and it doesn't work at all. Horrible performances, horrible plot twists, way too many characters, too many subplots, and half of them I didn't even give a shit about. So much potential, but such a letdown because of the talent in this movie. There's hardly anyone can sing. Hardly anyone can really do anything. The singers in this movie are just auto-tuned the whole movie. The only person I didn't really find that was actually good and they weren't auto-tuned was, again, I said it before, I think that, I honestly feel that Sofia Carson is a good singer. I think she has potential. Dove Cameron, no, don't even think about it. She sings, like, a song in this movie with Kristen Chenoweth. Kristen Chenoweth obviously upstages her. She is not good at all, in this movie. But that's basically my review of Disney's Descendants. And if I had to grade this movie, I would give it a 1 out of 5 or a D-. I did not like this movie whatsoever. I can't believe that this was a Disney Channel movie. I mean, think of how better it could have been if it was something that was in theaters or a Broadway show, something that actually had talented actors, something that actually had people that could act, something that had people that could have made this something good, something that would have been memorable, and it really wasn't at all something memorable. It was boring. It was annoying. It went on forever. It was terrible. It was just so disgraceful and such a abomination of the original classics, really. I really want to watch the original classics after this movie. I want to get the taste out of this movie out of my mouth, definitely. But if you guys are checking out this movie, please don't watch this movie, please. You're going to be severely disappointed. It is not what you think it's going to be. That's why I put up this review early, so I can tell you guys it's not worth it. It's not a good movie. I really hope they don't make that sequel. I really hope this doesn't get very good reviews. I hope this bombs. I really hope it bombs, honestly. But that's basically my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. What a horrible, horrible movie. Oh my god. Some people are saying this movie's good. I can understand if you think the movie's good, but it's not something. It's way too modern. It's a disgrace. It's annoying, and it's not what this movie should have been at all. It could have been so much better. Look at Evil Like Me. Look at that song and think of what this movie could have been. It is really sad what the movie was and what it could have been. But that's my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for another classic movie, which will be something better than this, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.